Oh, hey, how you doing? This is Eric from AHA, Americans How About Americans and Amp Live. Welcome to Friday Highlights and the Amp Live Real Estate Show. I'm going to be your host today, Eric of AHA, Americans How About Americans and Amp Live. So I'm going to double check this, do a little housekeeping real quick. If you can like, love, and share, that'd be awesome, wonderful. We're streaming live on several platforms on the social media type live streaming stuff or live streaming services. So hopefully your Friday is going good. Hopefully you're gearing up for Rocktober. Rocktober's here. We're already 10 days into October or Rocktober. So hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully your business is rocking. Hopefully your family is good. God bless you with abundance, prosperity, health, and wealth. In God we trust. And as always, let's get back to Made in America. Okay. So first and foremost, I'm going to double check, make sure we're good to go. Turn down the tunes here since we're rocking some tunes. Let me do this really quick. There we go. And double check that we're all connected here. Pretty sure we are. Well, yep, there we are. Hey, okay, cool. So I'm going to go ahead and close that out so it doesn't get any echo or feedback. Beautiful, lovely platform. I'll say thank you to our sponsors, VIP Execs Realty and Lending, Step into Excellence. If you're looking for a property, you're looking to buy, sell, fix, flip, all that good stuff, you want to sell your luxury property, commercial property, whatever it may be, definitely reach out and I'll hook you up with my broker. Towards the end of this, I'm going to share VIP Execs Realty and Lending where you can connect with them. If you're wanting to sell property or looking to buy a property, you want someone who's going to be tenacious and be on your team and an advocate to kick some ass for you, then you're going to want to go with VIP Execs Realty and Lending. Even if you're looking for a loan, traditional loan, and all that good stuff, conventional, FHA, they got some cool programs for fixing and things of that nature, as well as hard money, private money, all that good stuff, but traditional as well, right? So, and that's the little tip about lending. I'll give that to you right now. I'm going to drop a pro tip before we get into this. I got a couple things I'm going to share with you today, some public service announcements, the pulse of real estate, obviously, and in real estate in general, the public sector, as well as I like to call the private sector of real estate, creative real estate investing, our world, or that umbrella of creative real estate investing and everything that lies underneath it, as well as the public record, or public sector, I should say, with a real estate agent, broker, lending, private money, all that good stuff, the different types of loans that are out there. It seems like banks and lending institutions and just regular lending institutions are kind of pushing out some different types of programs to adapt to what's going on in the current market today. Some properties are flying off the shelf. Others are taking 30, 60, 90 days. We're also seeing a drop in rental income, or to say markets, where some of these rentals are dropping and they're adjusting. It is what it is. That's what happens when it gets inflated. And then things start adjusting, and then everything else across the board starts adjusting as well, including the rents and things of that nature, price of homes, interest rates, all that good stuff. Now we just got to kind of bring it all back home to where it needs to be so it can readjust and then start moving in the direction that it needs to organically. A lot of this stuff was superficial bullshit, and it shouldn't have happened. But hey, that was the last administration. Now we got some rock and rollness in the house. At the end of the day, is it going to get taken care of? I always say, hey, it's kind of the same to a degree, right? Yes, we want to have what we want to have. You got the poor, middle class, and the rich, and things of that nature, right? United States of America is the only one that has those three classes. Without the middle class, there is no anything else except rich and poor, and we don't want that, right? We want America for what it stands for, a hodgepodge of all kinds of ethnicities and people coming together, coming to America for the American dream. That's what we're getting back to, military-wise, getting back to manufacturing here and bringing the future into, or to say, into the light, right? Because obviously we always got to stay ahead of the game with the other countries that are in competition with us and vice versa. But that's just the nature of the game, right? It's capitalism. Capitalism works. America works. God works. Because after all, if it wasn't with God in place and building that nuclear family, then America wouldn't have rose to its power as it is, or the world economic, or I should say the world powerhouse, or country of the world, I should say, without doing that, right? Having those values and principles and having the ability to dream, because we're a self-governing country, not the other way around. We don't need a government to tell us what's been going thing at the all right, so we got technical difficulty to go through this stuff. We're going to get into it. I'm going to go ahead and pull this up. Okay, we're going to talk about buying properties. We buy houses, ugly ones too. Cash your terms, instant offers, all that good stuff. Send us your deals. If you sent us deals and sent them through a DM, thank you very much. We usually try to get an offer or review them very quickly. We're looking for specific stuff too. It needs to make sense. We need to be able to make money, but we're super flexible in how we can construct those deals. If you are also dealing with vetting people and investors and agents and wholesalers and JV stuff, I get all that, right? We've been doing it for a while. We just qualify and vet people. It's super important. Does it take a little bit more? Yeah, it takes a little bit more work to get the end result, but we're also eliminating a lot of the bullshit that's going to come with that when you do not vet people, do not vet your buyers or investors or wholesalers or even JV and stuff, and not doing your due diligence on property. That's super important. So it is still, with the properties, it's still speculative, right? You're not going to have an exact answer, but you can give people your best, what's the word I'm looking for, professional opinion of what the property's worth. Asking enough questions and open-ended questions with the seller to be able to get enough information to make a professional determination on what it's going to cost to repair the property. Or fix it, flip it. Every investor is a little bit different. Some want 10%, some want 12, some want 15, some want, hey, I just need to make $35,000 on a flip, I'm okay, or I need to make 50, 60, or I need, if I'm spending 70, I need to make 70 back, right? So I'm going to spend 70 and make $70,000 on a deal. Others are like, hey, I'm looking for cash flow properties. I can handle $100, $200 extra a month. Some are like, no, I need to go with the 1% rule. Some are like, hey, if it's a $1,400 mortgage, I need to get double that, right? Or a little bit more. Or looking for alternatives, maybe assisted living. Maybe it's sober living. Maybe it's, the pad split thing. Now, some people, I'm not going to say good or bad about it. Really don't care. It is what it is. As long as you're making cash, that's cool. But it's like Airbnb rocked until regulations come in. And every time something grows and gets big, there's always going to be something that comes in, which is the government to regulate. And there's going to be states to regulate. And they want to regulate the outcome. For example, Lake Tahoe, right? They got a certain place of Lake Tahoe, where, they're okay with doing that stuff. And then the other side of Lake Tahoe, that's going to be probably where the money's at, where artists live and musicians and millionaires and stuff like that. They're like, no, we don't want none of that. We don't want any of that around our properties. So, they go and they, lobby and this and that, pass some laws here and there with the state or certain cities or whatever. And they say, no, we don't want Airbnb there. We don't want, it's got to be 30 days or longer, this and that. But without the hotels, without people renting, I think it was VRBO a long time ago, several years ago, 10, 15, 20 years ago. Without that, there would be no Lake fucking Tahoe, trust me, right? Because they wouldn't survive and they wouldn't be able to take care of what they need to. As far as with all that, it's kind of like, what's that movie, Jaws, right? You watch the movie Jaws and, they're on the island and that's how they made their money. People coming and hanging out and doing their stuff. Without that, it's just a fucking island with bullshit, and nobody's going to see it. So people, it is what it is. It's capitalism. People want to cry and whine about stuff. Same thing about the tech stuff, right? I'll get into a little bit about that, but it's all good to go. It looks like you can start calling now. So that took some time to get squashed out and legalities and stuff, but I'm going to drop some pro tips for you as well and help you out with a couple of things. So let me go ahead and move this over here. I want to share something with you. Okay. That's for sale. Okay. We buy houses. That's what we do. We buy houses. AHA, Americans Helping Americans, one American at a time, one property at a time, one family at a time, doing our part to get America back on track together with you and others across the United States of America, whether it's a distress situation, a divorce, pre-foreclosure, NOD, fixer-upper, you inherited the property, vacant property, there could be job loss or job relocation, or maybe you're just wanting to upgrade or downgrade, doesn't matter. And you don't want to go through all the BS of going, hey, I got to get an agent. I got to show it. I got to get the property cleaned up. I got to spend some money to bring up the property to get full retail, any of that stuff, right? It's good and bad all the way around. Just depends on what your flavor is, what you're trying to accomplish. And that's what we're about. We're going to figure out what you're trying to accomplish. What are the best options that you have for your property, or if you're an investor or whatever it may be, or you're just a family, aunt, and uncle, or grandma, it doesn't matter. And maybe you hear somebody and you're going, hey, you know what? There's a lot of stuff out there. I get it. And there's some people with experience and a lot of people with no experience. And then there's a handful that do have experience. And sometimes it's best just to walk away from a deal if it's just not going to work. If the seller is not flexible, here's a pro tip. If the seller is not flexible, it's not going to be a deal. Okay. It's just that they got it in their mind that, hey, someone's going to help them. It could be, now I'm going to talk in the status of what's called an NOD, notice of default, or a notice of trustee sale, what everybody can call a pre-foreclosure before it goes back to the bank. Once it's foreclosed, it becomes a REO, real estate owned, and goes back to the bank as a foreclosed property. And then they got to put it back on the books, go clean it up, do a clean out, hire a broker, and then sell it, right, to recoup. Of course, the banks have insurance on all that good stuff, right? So they're always going to win. The banks are always going to win, even when the market is doing what it's doing right now. A lot of people have decent interest rates. They have some equity in the property. They're putting the property on the market. It's not selling. Some places are, like OC, Orange County, Irvine, Santa Ana, certain places, right? And then other places are just not. It could be Florida. A lot of stagnated stuff, depending on the situation in the area. And obviously, everybody buying properties and that and this and that. I also posted something. You can go into the Facebook group. It's called Let's Share Real Estate Deals. It should be down below, a link. If there's not a link, ask me for a link. Shoot a DM. I'll send it to you. It's free. I posted something in there. It was pretty cool. It was about I guess, where I guess it's about single family properties. And in regards to single family properties, who's buying those, who has the most? Well, it's, obviously mom and pop real estate investors, not the big conglomerates, not the big institutions and things of that nature. I'm not going to mention any names, but none of those are doing that because it's single family, right? Because they can't figure out a way to get, hey, they already tried that before. Hey, let's do this and do that, turn them into rentals, and then we'll sell them on the stock exchange, blah, 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 blah. That shit did not work, and it crashed and burned. So they're like, they stick to the commercial stuff, the apartments and all that other good stuff, and syndication and hedge funds and all that good stuff, right? So single family properties is what I like to call low-hanging fruit, okay? Low-hanging fruit, the mom and pops will go after 5, 10, 15, 20 properties, and they're going to buy those. And about a third, right? Maybe a third or so are mom and pop real estate investors that control what? All the off-market stuff, the rentals and stuff, right? And you got about 60, 70%, right? Could be, obviously, don't quote me on that on the homeowner stuff, right? How many people own homes, what percentage of the major institutions own some properties and hedge funds and things of that nature, as well as mom and pop investors, right? It was the mom and pop investors that got us out of the last crash, not the institutions, because they went and asked for money and begged for money and got all their free money to get bailed out of the shit, like Countrywide and all those other companies. I think was it IndyMac. I forget. There's a bunch of banks that took a shit and then gobbled up by the bigger banks. Of course, they got money to fund all that good stuff. It's all bullshit at the end of the day, but it happens. But we got to remember this. Here's a pro tip. Americans forget very easily. That's why cycles and trends are super important. That's why they happen every cycle and trend. When something crashes and they go, how do the banks keep getting their houses back? How do they keep getting their properties back? They loan the money, and then they foreclose, and they loan the money, and they foreclose, and they loan money and foreclose. Happens every cycle. Get my Erick report. It's not on here on any slide, but definitely go get the Erick report. DM me if you like to know more about that. That's my crystal ball, my projections and predictions of what's going to transpire in the next 5 years. Okay. So in regards to real estate, is it going to crash? Is it going to boom? Is it going to blow up? Are we going to, is AI robots going to be selling properties for us? Who knows, right? Well, I'll share that with you. Okay. So let's get back to this for sale. Americans helping Americans. You can send us your properties. We'll get you an offer within 24 to 72 hours. We will review it if it's in our criteria and the seller's flexible, or you have something that's you want to sell, then definitely let us know. Well, obviously, you got to make money. There's got to be enough margin there for us to make money as well. Definitely send it down the wire. Single family properties, commercial, multifamily, apartment buildings, any of that stuff, definitely send it. We'll take a look at it. Anywhere from 15, 20. You can send duplexes. You can send quads. You can send 5, 10, 15, 20 units, all the way up to 50 to 75 units. Anything over that, then we'll we'll have to get obviously an advisor to help us with any of that stuff. But we do have people that are interested in looking for those type of things all across the board, right? Because obviously we're in a creative real estate investing business. So there's always a creative way of putting a deal together. We prefer to go direct to the seller, but if there is an agent if the agent is a unicorn agent and not a gatekeeper, love to work with them, or you, if that's you. So let me get back to this. Okay. So anyways, Americans helping Americans. That's what that's about. Real estate investment firm in regards to buying, selling, fixing properties. If you know anybody, definitely send that stuff down the wire. I'm going to put my mug back up here. I'm also going to go ahead and put a QR code up here that you can use, which will be a little easier to work with. And scan that QR code right there. Right there, you can scan that QR code. We buy houses, cash, or terms. You can watch the little 3-minute video, or maybe it's a 1.5-minute video in regards to what we do, how we do it, whether you're a real estate investor, a regular homeowner, property owner, you inherited the property, divorce, pre-foreclosure, job relocation, doesn't matter. We do pay referrals as well because we're a private real estate investment firm, so we can pay referrals to you or anybody else, or even an agent, or if you have buyers, bring them down the wire and we'll negotiate a commission for you to purchase that property. Or if you just have questions, just reach out. That's what it's about. We're not going anywhere. Open door policy. We don't hide behind email and text and all that good stuff. So, if you can get a hold of us, awesome. Get a hold of me, awesome. Or someone will get in touch. If you just reach out, do a DM, or reach out to any of the social media platforms we're on, or websites or whatever, even like here, there'll be a link. You can scan that QR code to put in your deal. It will get you an offer within 24 to 72 hours. If it's a good deal, awesome, we'll work it. If not, hey, maybe the next one. That's just the way it works, okay? You know that. That's part of the game. So let me go ahead and move to the next little slide here. Obviously, I'm Eric of AHA, Americans How Americans and AMP Live. Oh, let me get that. 1 second. So always live and uncut. That's the beauty of all this stuff, right? The beauty of live and uncut, the social media world, it is what it is. Like Cardone says, hey, you know what? Some people go, man, it's like, man, I hate social media. And he's like, man, I love social media because it blew up his business, right? It gives everybody a voice to a degree. So don't be afraid. Jump on there, get on there, start talking, share your expertise. I just say become an expert of anything that you want to do, and then, hey, go for it, right? The same token, it just depends. If you're young, you got no excuse because you have no family, you have no, there's no diapers, no kids, you don't got to worry about other people, life as far as life goes, right? It's just you. So go for it. What do you got to lose? Especially you millennials and youngsters, go for it. Start reading. Grab that book, Think and Grow Rich. Grab the 17 Principles of Success. Yes, there's the Robert Kiyosaki books, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, whatever works for you. For me, it was Napoleon Hill. It's a little bit different. I was having that discussion with the mentee a couple of days ago. He's like, man, you still reading? Yeah, I'm reading, man. But every time I read that book, I got to read the chapters over and over and over, or I got to reread the freaking paragraphs so I can understand it, right? And here's my theory, just from experience. I did the same thing. I'm a slow learner. Took me a while just for the book to go, man, what does this even mean? Because we weren't taught this stuff in school. We weren't taught this stuff, or I wasn't taught from my family, right? Because it depends on where you're coming from. Hey, you're coming from low income, the ghetto, or you got some money, don't have some money, or middle class, or whatever. Depending on where you're at, if you're middle class or you got some money, yeah, hey, they're going to push it so you can keep on rocking the legacy, right? Now, not everybody wants to be part of that legacy. They say, hey, give me that money, trust fund money. They want to do what they want to do, and they got to comply, so they do. Some make it, some don't. Some, do drugs, and some get all crazy, and some pass, and some rock, because they know that's their duty to persevere and preserve their legacy that their family has worked so hard for. So it's the same thing. That's the goal. The goal is getting back to that, right? Getting back to, preserving your legacy, whether you're a man or a woman. Obviously, we know there's certain things that come in the lineage and bloodlines of people. So yeah, you guys and gals, right? So guys got to do what you got to do, and go after it and move forward, and think about your legacy and your family, and help build that. Step out of your comfort zone and get a little uncomfortable, and women do the same thing, right? Go out there and, formulate and build a team with your man, and build a family, and don't listen to the bullshit about, not having kids and this and that, right? Because God's going to put you through some stuff. so you can come out the other end with some character and some love and hopefully helping others. I truly believe that's just pretty much what human beings and what life is about. Um, Up until now, anyways, right? Until it changes. Before, when I was younger, it was, hey, you're not afraid of anything. You just go for it. You don't question very much stuff or the government or things. And sometimes you get stuck in a bubble until the bubble pops and you go, oh, okay, there is a bigger world, and then a bigger world, and then a bigger world. And you're going, man, how deep does this shit go, right? And it goes deep. But always put God in your heart. Whatever gets you going. For me, I'm a God-fearing man. I have no qualms about it. I'm not a holy roller, but I believe in God and I'm a God-fearing man. So that's what keeps me rocking and rolling. My family keeps me rocking and rolling, reading, studying. Then we all will drop off, because I'm going to be honest with you. I'll be real, right? We all drop off. We're all going to be going, man, okay. Because you're like, sometimes things are happening. Your brain thinks a lot, right? It's like, even though everything you take in to the subconscious mind is going to be in there, and then it's going to be compartmentized and all that good stuff. And then whatever you got to bring to the top, I always say, like, hey, in real estate, you can go do this real estate thing. And if you shut it down, go do something and then come back, you can always turn it back on, turn the spigot back on, rock the deals, rock the business, and do what you need to do, and then turn it back off, right? That's if you want to have a job or a career. So people, hey, I love my job. I love my career. I love doing what I do. I just want to be able to put my money somewhere and be able to turn on the spigot and turn off the spigot, turn on the spigot whenever you want to. But the thing is, the key here is the superpower. How do I do that, right? How do I work these deals? Because that's where the magic lies, is working the deals, the creative real estate investment deals. And yes, even the creative finance stuff where you're getting stuff at zero down, no money, and you're structuring deals, right? We're going, it's all leverage. It's all OPM, other people's money. OPE, other people's efforts, right? And you're leveraging a deal, because when you leverage a deal, the return on investment is astronomical, because you're not putting in your own money. You're not putting in any dollars of yours, to a degree, unless you want to. If you're going to put dollars into your properties or things of that nature, yeah, they're for you, for your family, for the legacy, right? Or you put a little bit in, but then you're going to need some other money somewhere, whether it's apartment buildings or it's a house, you need some rehab money. That's where all these things come into play, right? All the gurus and people that are out there all over the internet. I get it. I was on a couple of videos or a couple of lives last week talking about Sam Walton. Go out there and get that book. It's awesome, right? Reverse engineer everything, right? And see what else was there. Because that's what I did when I got started, right? And let me see. Well, can't think of what other. Oh, there was one. I think it was about I speak to myself or talk to myself. I got that from a broker who's in the business for a long time, who was associated with another broker who, God rest his soul, is no longer here, but an awesome, great guy, has books and all that good stuff, big brokerage and everything. And, I really value that, right? Because those are people that you want to have mentor you, and anything they say, you want to listen to, and then kind of break it all down and figure out, why did that happen? Or why did he say those things? Or why did she say those things? And then figure out where it fits in your life. So hopefully I'm sharing some of these things with you, and it clicks in your mind, or you're like, oh, I've been there, done that. Okay, cool. How can you help me? How can you not help me? How can I associate with you or not? Like I said, open door policy. Also want to share with you that we are hiring. So we're looking for acquisition people, disposition people, and for high ticket sales for the American Mentee program. That's something I did not mention too much, but you can scan that QR code. That's what that program is all about. It's the American Mentee program, done with you and done for you, where we're going to work with you. We're going to rock deals together. We're going to partner up and do deals together. And it's a lifetime membership. So you don't have to worry about that, right? It's about networking and building relationships for the long term. Doesn't matter where you're at in the United States of America, from the East Coast to the West Coast and everything in between. At the same token, it's done with you, or done for you, I should say. And you're saying, well, what the heck is done for you, right? What the heck does that mean? Done for you? Well, yeah, systems. Why spend 6 months on building systems when you should spend 6 months on rocking deals, learning the art of the deal, learning your superpower? Because we're gonna figure out what works and what you're good at. Then we're going to build a target around that and your goals, and then move forward, because they're going to be aligned with our goals. That's why it's a selection process, and nobody does it because nobody wants to do it, or they're going to charge you $100,000 a year or $10,000, $12,000 a month, to do that. And then even then, it's not going to be with the people who are promoting the program because they're way up there. They've been around for a long time. I'm going to mention any names or anything, but that's how it works, right? Seminars are great though. Hey, get out there and from experience, I'll be honest with you, don't hit a lot of those, but the goal is to hit them now, right? Sometimes you just got to open up your mind and pivot a little bit, and that's where the people are at, right? So you want to work with the 10 to 7% that are rocking and putting on the show. That's the goal. Go meet those people. Everybody in between, there's going to be newbies, there's going to be seasoned people, and you might meet your next partner. I get it. So it's an investment. You're not going to go there and go, well, I already know this shit. Why am I here? Well, it's to learn get a couple of nuggets of some awesomeness, meet those people that are putting on the show, and then meet all the others that they brought in, and then go from there, right? So for 2026 and 2027, that is our goal. We want to be rocking and rolling with that. I'd love to reach out, and let's chat. Let's see where we can help you and how you can help us and vice versa. It's an open door policy, like I said. There is a mentoring program. It's called the American Mentee Program, the only program of its kind where we train and mentor you and others across the United States of America. One-on-one. That's right. We're going to share the superpowers with you. It's kind of funny because we're watching that new movie, Superman, right? And it just clicks and it's like, okay, we have that little phrase for a while, right? Because it feels like a superpower. It felt like a superpower when I got started because nobody else understood what the hell I was doing, and nobody knew what was going on, and nobody really taught it, and nobody really did it, and I just kind of stumbled onto it by accident over time, which is the same thing I did with the wholesaling. Stumbled onto wholesaling. It wasn't cold wholesaling when I got started, but I was wholesaling and didn't even know it when I did it. So those things happen. Usually when your back is up against the wall, you will do your best work. And when you're hungry as shit and you have a do or die mentality, and I shared that with a mentee a few days ago as well. I said, look, my mantra was to say, look, I'm going to go to battle, meaning I'm going to get into this business and go forward and do it with all the negative shit that's there. Because if you knew all the intricacies, you'd probably say, man, I'm going to fail. I don't have a chance. But if you didn't know those things and you just went in and said, I'm doing this, do or die, I don't care, then you're going to win. Period. Is it going to be hard? Yes. Is it going to be a battle? Yes. Is it going to be easy? Maybe. You might just skate through it. Who knows, right? That's just the way life is, the universe. It's controlled chaos. But my theory was I'm going to go to battle. There's the island. There's a bunch of people on there, or warriors or whatever. I'm going to burn my ships, and then I'm going to go to battle on the island, destroy everybody, make sure all those other ships are burnt too, because I don't want any of those jabronis leaving that island. I want to destroy them all, take over the island, right? And then rock and roll. And if I got to go get another island, we keep on rinsing and repeating. Not in a bad way, right? We're not doing like the Spaniards and taking over people and stealing their gold and shit, right? It's just a freaking metaphor, right? It's a metaphor and saying, look, do or die, let's go. And that's what worked for me in my head. Whatever's going to work for you works for you. Plus, I have the power of God on my side. And every time I'd move forward, I'd hit a wall, and going, bam, okay, why? Just let me go forward. I'm doing everything right? I think, but maybe not. Until the door opens up, then boom, that's just God letting you through because you paid your price, you paid the dues, you paid the price of admission, you move forward. And that's just, I think, with everything in life. And then, but when you do those things, you learn so much from Think and Grow Rich, right? And that's almost a long circle back of why Think and Grow Rich is powerful, why you should use it, why it took me forever. And then others, young millennials and youngsters, guys and gals, they read it and they understand it. I'm like, shit, okay, cool. And it is super smart. I just wasn't, it took me a while because the book says when the book reads you, go crack open some champagne. Well, it took me a while, and it took me some traveling from jobs and careers and even across states and things of that nature to say, man, I'm ready. I understand it. Now I understand. Yes, I understand I can manifest definiteness of purpose, infinite intelligence, right? Building a mastermind alliance, all those things, made sense. And then they started to become my core. And then I picked up the 17 principles of success, right? Where it is almost like a guide and a principle where I can go ahead and go, you know what? I can make this my guide. It's not to replace the real Bible, but this is going to be my business Bible, and I'm going to read it. I don't have it right now. It's somewhere in my little bookcase and all that good stuff, but I read it, I studied it, And I believe that everything that was in it was true, whether it's not true or not, because it is what it is. But that was my mentality and still is, right? And any book that you read, then you start digesting. You're going, a lot of this stuff and all these other books and guru books came from the basis and came from the basics of Think and Grow Rich and things of that nature in the Bible and reports and things of that nature from the early 1900s, late 1800s, where everything's based on character. So you can't be like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna fake it till I make it. I'm gonna go kumbaya and pretend to have a positive. No, you have to really believe the shit. If you don't believe it in your heart and your mind and your soul, then it doesn't connect to the universe, doesn't connect to God, doesn't connect to other people, and it won't work. That's the hardest part. Because doing those things, yes, you have to work towards it. You got to train towards it. And then you got to make it part of your everyday life or part of your core, along with your business. A lifestyle of real estate is different, or anything that you choose to do. So those things are super important, and they do work. They work like magic, kind of like another superpower. It's like a life superpower. The superpower of creative real estate investing is just understanding the clauses, understanding how to negotiate, the art of the deal, the AMP Live method, and knowing what a certain process and processes and systems when you're working with sellers, buyers, and investors, running it through. Like I always say, think franchise, right? And but in the mentality of sales, I should say, right? I hate the word sales. Let's just call it, like I did before, solutions. If you can't provide any solutions to that seller, investor, or buyer, then you got nothing, right? You got a trinket. I don't care if it's a gold bar and a gold bar. Which gold bar is better? They're both the same. Who are you going to buy the gold bar from, right? The one what is it tied to? What's that gold bar tied to? Here's the gold bar. Pay me. You're good to go. See you later. Or I got the gold bar right here, and it comes with education. I'm going to show you how to use it. I'm going to show you how to invest it. I'm going to show you how to make more money from it. Well, I want to go with this one because it comes with more. It comes with things that I think I'm going to need, or things that I want, things that I aspire to be, part of my game plan, part of my goals. So that's a beautiful thing, right? So it's sales, it's solutions, providing solutions. But it is what it is. And I say it the last time, real estate agents, brokers, all that good stuff. Hey, when it's easy, and when it's not, it's not. You got to keep rocking and rolling. Yeah, you got to have processes and systems. Does everything work? Every type of marketing, or I like to call verticals, work. But you got to hyper focus. You got to invest in them, and you got to rinse and repeat them and do them over and over and over and over. And things will pivot and change a little bit. When Google changes their algorithms, right? Then SEO goes to shit. You're like, fuck, I just spent thousands and thousands of dollars on all this shit and Google pay per ads and clicks and shit. And then they change the algorithms and fuck everybody over. Excuse the F-bombs. At the end of the day, cover your ears if that offends you. But hey, you're going to get some F-bombs and some S-bombs, and it just comes from a place of passion. But it's true. Right? That happens. Or like, hey, text marketing was blowing up. Boom, 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 boom. Then they get some lobbyists and they start, putting some laws together. And all of a sudden, oh, no, you got to do this A2P shit. We got to regulate, blah, blah, blah. More bullshit for them because they got the money and the carrier. So, but it don't mean shit, right? You just work around it. You figure it out. And you keep moving forward. Same thing with calling. Calling was working. People cold call. Then all of a sudden it stopped. You can't do that. There's a law. Then all of a sudden, open back up. So everybody else is going to start calling, but not everybody wants to call because cold calling sucks, right? Who wants to cold call? Blah, 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 blah. If you're not afraid, then it doesn't matter. But a lot of people make a lot of money cold calling it. There's badass at it, right? And there's some people that can make calls and calls and calls and they don't get a hold of nobody. And there's others that make a couple calls, they keep calling, boom, they get a hold of people. They got it in their mentality that they're going to reach people. They're going to talk to people, right? That's manifesting, right? I'll do a shout out. There's like a young lady that's working with us. She calls and she makes phone calls and she gets a hold of people. Beautiful, lovely thing. Do we got to move forward with a couple other things? Like, yeah, get the full submission, a little bit more training. It's okay. Don't worry about people who are going to be rude, whether they're guys, gals, or whatever. The deal is the deal and the process is the process. And if you wrap your mind and frame it, right? Frame it a certain way as money, as a game, then you're going to win. And they're going to love you. And you're going to provide a solution to them. And they're going to want to work with you. So that's just kind of like the tip of the iceberg. It's really fun, easy stuff if you decide you want to do that. And plus, it's going to help you in your general life anywhere. Everything you do. From buying stuff at Walmart to the restaurant you go to anything else in life, just become basic principles. Now, I have something sitting on my desk here. Actually, two things. We're old school and new school, right? New school is CRMs, but CRMs have been around forever. And even the last cycle, they freaking sucked. They had top producers suck. They had all kinds of these shitty, like a Salesforce, all this shit. Big old clunky things that didn't work worth the shit. And some people still use them. I get it. Even Podio, right? Podio is supposed to be, you can work it out. But if you break it, you better be a tech person. You better be a programmer to fix it, right? So not saying anything good or bad about, well, yeah, I'm saying, yeah, it's not for us. But if you good for you, it might work for you. It's free, Podio's free, other things. You got CRMs like, yeah, I'll drop one. I don't get paid for it. REI Reply is cool. You got some nerds that built it out, and they're real estate people, and they're kind of programmers, and the thing's clunky as shit, like Android, Apple. Apple's nice and sexy. It's clunky and ugly, but it works, right? The machine. And that's all you can ask for, okay? And then Apple's locked up. For me, if I were to, put something out and put, something to rebrand and all that good stuff, yeah, it'd probably be a mixture of both that of the clunky stuff, but I want to put a nice, sexy skin on it. Yes, I want to lock the shit out of it because we want to be able to protect our people and ourselves and all that good stuff and data, right? And have a hybrid of both, for me, anyways. But that's just me. Others, who cares? They put stuff out. Some people put shit out and it don't even work, right? Or it gets shut down 3-6 months later because, the terms of service on other platforms and stuff. That is so freaking annoying, right? Done that a bunch of times. Buy some software, 6 months later, it fucking doesn't work, So be careful. There's a lot of good companies out there too. Some good places for skip tracing, right? Deal Machine is great because they give you a lot of skip tracing and they give you some good data. Property Radar's made a comeback and they got some great data as well for the skip tracing and for their property details and all that good stuff. PropStream's good for their data, for sure. Data. It's still good to go. Hey, it's like anything else. Here's a. I don't want to go too long. I better check this out and chop this down. I'll keep on talking. Okay, we're at 36 minutes. Yeah, I'm gonna shut this down. All right. So here's the thing that I want to share with you today. Friday highlights. Get geared up for Friday and Saturday and Sunday because deals are here. Some of your best deals are going to be in fall, which we're already coming into, and winter. Send us those deals. If you get deals and you're getting close to what? Close of escrow. It's not closing. Hit us up. Let's see if we can work in some type of creative real estate investment deal. We've done that several times as well. It works, right? Better off getting some money than no money and becoming the hero at the end of the day as well for that seller. Okay? So definitely reach out, scan that QR code. I'm going to go through some of these slides and I'm going to show some. I got something on my desk. It's a little bit old school, but you remember, old school is new school, right? Especially in cycles. New school is old school and old school is new school. And then you blend them all together and every single one works, right? Every vertical of marketing works. It just depends on your flavor, right? What exactly are you trying to accomplish? That's the most important part, okay? So check this out. I'm going to go over here because I want to share something with you. Where am I at? I think it's this one. Facebook group. Go down below. Check out that Facebook group. It's free training, finding deals. How to find deals in today's market. Obviously, I'll be your host. Our jam is creative real estate investing, how to get off-market deals. You can scan that QR code right there and join. And yeah, act now before the deal disappears. Limited time offer, made in America, and God we trust. Rock and roll, let's go. I'll leave that up for a second. Go to the next one here. And I truly believe, the future of real estate obviously is changing. And it's going to be more geared towards creative real estate investing. The MLSs and all that stuff are changing. I heard Compass, a big company came about up Compass and a bunch of other brokerages. So they're conglomerating and getting together. And I don't know if they went through or not. It's just hearsay. But, things are going to be shifting. So you better get ready. Motivated seller leads, right? You can scan that QR code right there to find those leads because without leads, you are dead in the water. You don't have a business. You need leads, and you got to be able to work them. Every single vertical works, right? Surfing for deals. That's something we coined a long time ago. You can scan that QR code, and I believe, is it free? I think it's still free, right? Yep. Surfing for deals. Get instant access to my free Surfing for Deals training. It's pretty easy. Just copy and paste, watch the video, boom, watch your phone blow up in your email and text. With leads that are going to come in. Now, is every lead going to be a rock and roll lead? No, you got to turn those leads. As long as they're raising their hand, we're going fishing in an ocean where people are what? There's fish out there. It's the ocean. They're saying, I want to sell. For whatever reason, who cares? That's the goal. That's where the superpower comes in so you can understand and figure out and decide, hey, is this a good deal or not? What's the situation? and it's just being better than everybody else. That's the goal, right? It should be, anyways. So surfing for deals, absolutely free. Scan that QR code right there and jump on that. Let me go ahead and do this. You can scan that QR code right there, grab it while it's free. Okay. Also, when you come aboard and work with us, or even during training, because we are hiring, right, and we work with you, we're going to give you the tools you need, right? You're going to get the marketing, get the websites, things that you need, how to get the submission. The mission is the submission. Super, super important, because if you get the submission, you're going to make money. We'll give you the ratios and how many you need. It works every single time. It's almost like day and night, right? Or I should say, when the sun rises, it rises, and when it gets dark, it gets dark. It's the same thing. Right? How it works, it's controlled chaos in the universe, right? How this works, well, it's just simple mechanics, right? You do this, do that, and out comes the product, right? Which are deals, leads to appointments, to offers, to deals, to COE, close of escrow. All righty. So we'll get back to it. What's the main focus for today? We buy houses, cash or terms, okay? Watch your free Saturday House Fast Cash free video. So that's what we're promoting for the rest of fall and going into 2026 is buying inventory, buying deals, fix, flip, buy, hold, single family properties, commercial properties, strip malls. It don't matter. It could be 6 or 7 units. It could be more. We'll handle what we can handle at the end of the day. Also, we have obviously, thanks to our sponsors, VIP Realty. VIP Execs Realty and Lending, step into excellence. All right, so we'll have access to working those deals. You can go through our brokerage, whether it's commercial loans, private money, any of that stuff. All our resources will become your resources when you come aboard and work with us. Or if we're just building a network together, hey, however we can work it, we can facilitate whatever needs to happen or work something out between us and you and others. So since we've been doing this for a while, okay? So I'd love to chit chat with you, but send those deals down the wire. Single family properties, we're really hitting those hard in Southern California, all 4 counties, San Bernardino County, Riverside County, Inland Empire, Orange County, Los Angeles County, the good parts, right? Anything that we're not interested in, we'll just wholesale it off. So get on our VIP buyers list for sure. If you're looking for inventory, looking for deals, because whatever we don't take down, we will rock with you. And if you become someone on our A list, on the VIP buyers list, hey, we're even going to send the juicy ones that we would rather keep. We'll offer them up to you just as a way to put our hands forward and say, hey, we want to do business with you. What are you looking for? You're looking for 10, 15, 20, 30, 100 properties. We'll get together, hit each other's offices or whatever. And if it makes sense, we'll even build a team around whatever we need to bring that inventory towards you, right? Along with VIP Execs Realty and Lending, and having the power of that to be able to move forward and move some inventory or hunt some inventory for you, and vice versa, just FYI. All right, so we're also looking for money as well, or I should say we're looking for funds to be able to rock these deals, because a lot of these deals we're going to take down subject to existing financing, seller financing, lease options, rent to own, all that good stuff. We'll be bringing in smaller amounts of money to be able to move these properties, and then bigger amounts of money to be able to work these apartment buildings and things of that nature that come down the wire. So if you're not, if you're interested in any of that, definitely reach out. If you don't want to pick up a hammer, you just want to say, hey, I just want to invest and then get my money back, secured by some real estate. We can chat, talk, have some dinner, lunch, coffee, whatever. It's not a solicitation. At the end of the day, just remember this too. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a CPA. I'm not a bookkeeper. I am not a financial analyst. It's for entertainment purposes. If you like what's rocking and rolling, for Friday highlights, awesome. Share it, like and love, appreciate it. Saturday training, Sunday sermon, Mindset Money Monday, Tuesdays in the field, Wellness Wednesday, Thursdays in the field, and then we're always back for Friday highlights. How long we'll be doing this, I don't know. We might chop out some of these. It might just come back once a week, twice a week, or just whenever the hell, like I've been doing, whenever the hell I feel like it, right? At the end of the day. But we're pretty consistent on a lot of this stuff, so hopefully dropping some pro tips for you. Definitely scan that QR code there if to send us properties. Or maybe you're like, you know what? I want to work for a company, acquisitions, dispo. I like that program you're talking about. I want to be able to sell that program, the American Mentee program. Where you're like, man, I just want. Can you mentor me? Reach out. Ask. If you don't ask, you won't know. If you don't ask, you won't get. That's what life is about. Ask. What's the worst that can happen? No, not yet. Maybe later, right? I've done it. I've asked, and sometimes, I get the yeses, and sometimes I get no's. And I'm like, man, okay. Or, and the person was, cordial and nice, and then some are just assholes, right? And biatches. Like, man, okay, well, shit. Pull that stick out of your ass. Fuck. I was just asking a question, right? How can I be of service, right? And, you probably caught him on a bad day or caught her on a bad day. That's life. It happens, right? Even myself, right? But we try to stay positive every single day, try to get up every single day, try to do the right thing every day. And yes, be a warrior, right? It's okay to be ruthless. It's okay to fucking move forward and take shit down and don't worry about shit and don't worry about the crybabies and the whiners of the world. And, get knocked down, get back up. Get knocked down, get back up. And I'd rather say, hey, let's travel right here. Let's travel the road. Let's travel. Let's travel together, right? Let's rock and roll and be mavericks together. That's my goal in life, right? Is to help our fellow Americans across the United States of America. That is our true cause and mission with Americans helping Americans. But if you're okay with saying, I just want to do the JOB, nothing derogatory about it. I'm going to use the word sheep. Hey, that's okay. Some people are okay with that. They're okay with mediocrity, but and then people say, well, man, I gotta work a job forever and then retire. What's the difference? You might as well bust your ass and go through the ups and downs of being an entrepreneur. It's going to be the same shit. You're going to go through the same shit, but you're going to experience a lot more awesomeness traveling the road less traveled than traveling the road that's packed up with a bunch of people and everybody going in the same direction with the JOB and being part of what, society wants you to be. Okay. That doesn't mean go off and get weird and do all kinds of other stuff like it's been doing with the woke stuff. I'm not going to get into any of that shit, right? It's not for me. I got my character and the way it's driven, and I got my, integrity and loyalty and communication, and my credo, my mission statement is mine. That's it, right? And if anybody wants to come aboard and work with it and we're aligned, let's rock. If not, that's okay. I'm not going to, no harm, no foul. I'm not going to get our feelings hurt. My feelings hurt at the end of the day. But just it becomes an acquired taste over a period of time, right? And when you start vibrating at a higher frequency, your friends are going to disappear, family's going to disappear, people are going to think you have an ego. It's not you have an ego, you're just thinking differently. You're rocking and rolling differently. You're doing things differently, right? And everybody else is right here, and you're wanting to rock up here and you keep ascending. That's the goal in life, right? So that's my 2 cents there. A little Mindset Monday on a Friday. But grab this, okay? So here we go. Fuck it, let's just go for an hour. All right, here we go. So this thing's still rolling? Okay, it's still rolling. Surfing for deals. Grab that. Surfing for deals, okay? Instant access. It's easy. Copy, paste on Zillow. You're going to get a deal. Young man, it was a little bit of an anomaly, and I'll share it with you. Went out, he was in Texas, did the surfing for deals, came aboard, kind of moved very quickly, and said, okay, fuck it. Kind of, we put a couple of steps ahead, and when we could have waited, we said, now let's do it. Let's lock it up and go forward. Ended up getting under contract. The spread was good and all that good stuff within a phenomenal amount of time. I believe it was in days and not weeks or even months, because it could take that long. It took me 4 months before I got my first money deal, right? That was just a wholesale deal when I got started and didn't know I was wholesaling, but it is what it is. But that was pretty awesome. I was very proud of him. He's going to be rocking and rolling, doing his thing. So a lot of good things are going to be coming from that young man. I guarantee it. God's on his side. He's aligned. We all get on, get off, get on, get off. He's aligned to do what he needs to do. As long as we stay in that alignment and keep the noise out, right? That's what obviously Bezos and Elon Musk and Trump and all these people keep the noise out, right? Eliminate the noise, but it's so hard because there's so many things. You got life, there's TV, there's the scrolling on the phone. We all do it, because we're all looking for we're looking for instant gratification. We're human beings. That's what we want. We want easy. We want instant gratification. But that's just the devil rocking and rolling in your head and all of those apparatuses. Happens to me. Happens to the best of us. Happens to everybody. But we just keep following. That's why we got to work together and stay with like-minded people, okay? And that's what I'd like to do with you and others across the United States of America. So definitely get this. It's a PDF, simple video. If you want one-on-one mentoring, definitely reach out. Take advantage of it. Set up a breakup call. You can scan that QR code right there. Set up a breakup call with myself and my team. Yes, it'll be me and anybody else that's working with me for that particular day. And it's a selection process. So you're not going to be talking to anybody from, India or the Philippines or Mexico or, anywhere else. We don't outsource any of that stuff when we're working and taking on people. Even when we're moving forward and rocking deals, like, oh, you got to go talk to the transaction team, or you got to talk to your coach, or you got to talk to your third coach, your second coach, or this department, that department. Yeah, we have departments. Yes, we structure stuff the way it needs to be, but I want to work with you exclusively because I want to make sure you can be successful as long as you show up to the party and you can punch your way out of a paper bag, show up to the party, follow directions, and you execute. I guarantee you're going to get results. The best thing about that is that we're probably going to be doing 90% of the work in the beginning. So your first, second, third deal is going to pretty much be done with us helping you make that happen. Are we going to do it 100% for you? No, because that's defeating the purpose. You have to learn how to do this. You have to do your part. If you don't do your part, then yeah, you can lose the deal. The deal can go sour. It can, if you get lazy and thinking you have a deal and disappear and going, okay, cool. Or you babysit one deal and shit happens. You go, well, what happened? Well, you should be building a pipeline. You should be listening to what we're saying. Well, you should be rocking and rolling with the things and advice that we're giving you, so those things don't happen, right? I always say it's like this. Here's an example. It's like there's two roads. You make a right-hand turn, you can make a left-hand turn, right? And when you've experienced them both, when you make a right-hand turn, there's nothing down there. There's nothing down that hallway. But if you want to go, you're going to go, and human beings are going to go, right? They're going to go, I got to go check it out. That'd be me. I'm curious as fuck. Just let me go see, because I want to make sure I don't miss anything. Nothing personal. But if you're telling me, unless I really, and it happens, right? There's people like, you know what? No, fuck that. There's nothing down there. I trust you. No, fuck that. I ain't going down there. But other people are going to make a right-hand turn. They're going to go down there, and they're going to come back, and we're sitting there, and we're going, okay, well, what are we going to do? Well, what would you like to do? Well, there's nothing down there. I don't want to go down there. It's not to be right. What do we need to do? Well, we're going to make a left-hand turn. We're going to go left. We're going to go this way because this is where the deal's at. This is how we're going to structure the deal. This is where the money's at, and this is what we're going to do, right? So it's almost like having a crystal ball and knowing what you don't know is what you don't know. But when you do know, right, you share it and listen or not. I'm not trying to build a better mousetrap. Just keep the stuff that's working. And then when you do some deals and you rock some deals, you start building your business that we're going to help you build and help you build your brand and your business the next 6, 12 months and beyond. Then you can create the best mousetrap you want. Right now, if there's a mousetrap and it works, don't judge it. Oh, that's old school. That's new school. That's this. There's a better way. I saw this video on TikTok, YouTube, this, that. Eliminate that bullshit. If it makes sense, cool. Okay, and you bring it to the table. We'll look at it. We'll execute it. You want to try it out. But remember, that's your money and your time. And we're not going to spend a lot of time because you're either going to know the results or maybe it's something new. We'll go, okay, we'll give it a shot. Let's reverse engineer it. Let's figure it out. Let's try it. Let's do it. Right? Because that's what we signed up to do, to help each other. At the end of the day, if it works, awesome. Then we'll share it with everybody at the end of the day that is working with us. And if it doesn't, then it doesn't, right? If we know that something is, people tried that, let's see what happens and go from there, right? But those things, that's the beauty of having a mentor and somebody working with you exclusively, right? As well as the tools that are needed to set up the apparatus, right? That's the done with you is rocking deals, put your money back into the business and do what you need to do. And at the same token, when done for you is going to be all the other stuff, all the stuff that people don't want to do. I want to set up the marketing and the CRM, the text marketing and all the drips and all that good stuff, right? Because that all takes time. You can spend 6 months doing all that shit and building it all beautiful, awesome business and websites and all kinds of shit. But if you suck when all the leads come in, it's going to take you 3 to 4 to 5, 6 months to rock and roll to become really awesome at that, to absorb all those leads and do what you need to do. You're either going to get frustrated and go, fuck, this didn't work, or there's too much, or I'm giving up, or you're going to work with somebody or yourself, or you're tenacious enough to go, look, I got to do this. I'm going to move forward. I'm going to learn it. You're just putting the cart before the horse, right? We're going to help you with that. Make a right-hand turn or a left-hand turn. Put the cart before the horse or no. It's up to you. But remember, it's your business, so we're going to let you do whatever you want. We're going to guide you and say yes or no. I don't know if that's probably not a good idea, but if you want to do it, no problem. I'm going to tell you why and give you all the yays and nays and the devil in the details, and then ultimately, it's your business. You're going to decide what you're going to do, and then we'll help you execute it in one way, capacity, or another. If it works for you, then awesome. If it don't, can't say, well, shoulda, coulda, woulda, hey, why didn't you tell me? No, we're going to be upfront about that. That's the beauty about the communication, having that one-on-one mentoring that's working with you and vice versa, okay? So definitely scan that QR code if this makes sense to you. I'm going to share something with you really quick. You can go ahead and share this with others, a little bit of information about me. It's my speaker card. If you think that, hey, we can get some value, or you see this, you see me anywhere, and maybe, hey, I think you'd be great on this podcast or this show or seminar or whatever, or you just want to know a little bit about me, there it is. That's one, a little bit of information. I'm going to move to this next slide here. So this, excuse me, live and uncut. There it is. Boom. Free home search, investment property search. Sign up here. Scan the QR code, right? Courtesy of VIP Execs Realty and Lending Step into Excellence. Definitely scan that QR code. If you're in Southern California and you're looking for some hot deals, or you're looking for property, or you're like, man, I need somebody to represent me because it's taking me 2, 3, 4 months to find a house and I haven't found anybody. And then they got this NAR thing and all kinds of crazy shit. Look, Elizabeth from VIP Execs Realty and the team will go ahead and they'll find you something quickly. I think the last one they did, it was one day, 6 or 7 houses, boom, route some offers, and in that house that week. Okay, well, not in the house, but you know what I'm saying. They found the house they liked. They're like, man, I didn't think it was going to be that quick. I thought we were going to be hunting for properties for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. No, happens every time. It's usually under 30 days, 2 weeks or so, within a week or so. Just depends on how picky you or others are going to be about, well, I want this, I don't want that, I don't like this, I like that, right? But that's where understanding what you're about and what you're wanting, and then only sending you properties and helping you find the properties that are going to be perfect for you. Or if you want to get something sold, then luxury property, single family property, anywhere in Southern, or I should say Southern California, yes, but in the 4 counties, then you're going to want to reach out VIP Execs Realty and Lending as well to be able to help you unload those properties. Okay, so a lot of things are happening right now. People are holding off. Should I go? A lot of expired listings are happening. Going, man, my agent didn't do anything for me, or they put on the market and did this and did that, but it didn't sell. Okay, that's not going to happen. All right, VIP Execs Realty and Lending, they put the house on the market. It's getting sold, and it's going to get sold for top dollar, guaranteed. Okay. So definitely reach out and I'll connect you, or scan that QR code to be able to sign up and get your own little free account. Start searching properties. Reach out to Elizabeth and the team, and they'll definitely will help you out. Whether it's getting a loan, what type of loan is best for you? Is it your first home, your forever home, your millennials, or maybe it's some real estate? You're looking for some investment property that that working on now. For some ladies that are here in Southern California and they're looking for properties here in Southern California, other states as well, things of that nature. And, just placing the right loan, the different type of loans that are out there to help them. And then obviously working a deal, right? Being tenacious and being experienced at working the best deal for the client. So I think that's the best. That's awesome, because I know, it's like I don't like going to doctors, right? I go to a doctor and I want, the good doctors will sit there, they'll listen to you and they'll diagnose you and they'll try to help you. The ones that are just there for a paycheck is like, yeah, okay, listen to your ass. Cool. No, we're going to do this, do that. I said, no, I don't think that's best for me. No, I don't want the pills. I don't want this shit. I don't want that shit. I want you to fix the shit that's wrong. And I need you to figure that out by listening to what I have to say. Right. And some doctors are, hey, they got their egos, or they're somewhere else, or they're like, look, I just want the patients that listen to what I have to say. Here we go. Get in, give my money so I can go drive my Ferrari, my Porsche, or whatever, little car, Lexus, whatever. So it's the same thing. You want a real estate agent and a broker and a real estate investor, or even myself or whatever, to listen to what you have to say, understand what you need, and then try to provide the solutions to you and make it a reciprocal network, or I should say a reciprocal relationship together. That's the thing that's missing. It's been eliminated for the last 10 years or so, right? With the customer service stuff, or just building relationships with people, with everybody hiding behind these phones and text and email and shit. I get it, but it's going to change. It has to change. It always does. It always goes in cycles and trends. People will follow the trends right now until it ends, and then they'll follow another trend and another trend. I'm always behind the trend or in front of the trend. I'm either creating the trend or in front of the trend and understanding what's going to transpire, or I'm like way behind the trend that already went and did its thing, and then I'll catch up and then kind of start doing it, but at a different time, because it works for me and maybe for others at the end of the day, right? So beautiful, lovely thing. Let me go ahead and put this right. I'm going to put this up real quick. So Elizabeth Jimenez, and you can reach out to her. Here's the brands: VIP Execs Realty and Lending Step into Excellence. You can give her a call and she'll help you out with her team, as well as if you're wanting to hang your license, or maybe it's like I said, listing a property, hunting properties, or even loans, right? Because it's obviously VIP Realty, Execs Realty and Lending. The brands, obviously, And for you millennials, mortgage for your millennials and everyone else too, right? Because you deserve a place to call your home. I always say this. I'm just reading it off here, right? It is what it is. It's true. Call us. We'll help you. You millennials can't afford a property, whether it's a condo, whether it's a house, whether it's a first property, a fixer-upper, or something that to help you build your portfolio. You're young. I wish someone told me this shit when I was younger, right? And to have a portfolio, yeah, go after the stocks and go after your IRA, get an IRA, put some money in that shit, right? And borrow against it and borrow some real estate or buy some real estate, things of that nature, and do it. But you can do these things. You have the opportunity. It's one of the greatest opportunities. And I know people say that, but there's some opportunity coming, right? And it's not just because of the baby boomer stuff. And yes, if the baby boomers are, moving to, go see the good old, God upstairs and all that good stuff. And in Jesus Christ's name, bless them all, right? But people just don't want the properties or they don't want the businesses and things of that nature. They want the money, right? Hence the millennials and things of that nature, right? But even then, you should start now and go for it. You don't know what you don't know what you don't know until you actually step in and then ask some questions. Hey, can I get a property? Can I buy a property? Is it worth it to buy a property? An answer to that is yes, sure. Why not? Sell your home at max value before it's too late. Now this is interesting, right? But definitely reach out. Sell your home max value before it's too late. Now that's no bullshit. It's not like trying to hype it up, but it's true. The market is shifting and it's changing. And you're going to want to hit it. If you want to sell your property and move on, whether it's retiring, whether it's job relocation, or what do you think, man, should I sell this property or just wait? You can wait, but you're going to lose money because the market is going to take a shit. Guarantee it. Writing's on the wall. It's going to happen. Maybe not now, but you can go and grab my Erick report, shoot a DM, say, Erick, I want that Erick report. Send it over. I'll share it with you and others that want it. But the bottom line is, yeah. If you're ready to sell your property or you had other agents that couldn't get the job done or a broker couldn't get the job done for whatever reason, and there's life things that happen, sellers pull out for whether, my job is not relocating or this happened or that happened or I decided not to or I'm going to wait or I'm going to do this or do that. It happens, right? But a lot of them are just because they're put on the market, they're priced too high, or they're put on the market and people are, crossing their fingers and praying, wishing upon a star, I'm going to get it sold because it wasn't priced right. Or the agent priced it too high because they want to get a bigger commission. The seller said, hey, I want more money. And knowing that the agent's going, that thing's not going to sell, but still taking the listing. And you get those dead dogs, right? And then try to go back and drop until, for whatever reason, it doesn't sell. Maybe it's the marketing. Maybe it's the salesmanship. Maybe it was just the timing. There could be several reasons. Maybe the bad loans, not qualifying people, not selling the property or trying to sell and having a relationship with the agents that are working together because that you got to do those things, right, to get the property sold. But it's true. So no, there's no fear mongering going on here because, hey, I'd say take advantage of it. Take advantage of it and lock in. Because remember, it's no different than a doctor. You got real estate agents, you got attorneys, you got doctors, you got dentists. Hey, we're on your team for the long term, a lifetime. Okay, that's the goal here. You want somebody in real estate that's going to fight for you to be an advocate and to kick some ass. I had a conversation with a gentleman. I won't mention any names, but he's been a broker for a long time, 35 years or some shit like that. And it's like, yeah. I said, look, sometimes you got to remember, right? On the other side is agents. So you work together. But if they're not working together, or if the client feels that, hey, man, are you working for the buyer? You're working for us, right? Or if the buyer's not, being a jerk or whatever, it is us against them, right? So, I said, well, you can't look at it that way and this and that. I said, look, you're missing the point. The thing is that I hired you, get me top dollar. However you got to do it, you do it. Building a relationship with the other agent, the buyers, working stuff out. And yeah, sometimes you got to be tough and you got to be brutal to make shit happen, right? However it needs to happen, it needs to happen. So you want that advocate. I know I do. When I hire people or someone to sell a property, even when I first started, right, I did a lot of stuff myself because I go, man, I just do a better job than the agents that are working. And I save some money. So I call it that guerrilla marketing, right? Everybody, it's old. That's some old school shit, guerrilla marketing, but it works. And you got to spend some money if you got a couple of bucks, or you're like, hey, you're pushing volume. I got time to sell a house. I got time to build a team. I got time to make sure these people are going to sell the property. So yeah, list it. Build that relationship with someone's going to kick some ass. Like what? VIP Execs Realty and Lending. They'll get the property sold for you and at top dollar. And you may not like the price that it needs to be listed at, but I can guarantee it, they're very good at pricing homes. Okay, based on the condition, situation, and even the timing of the market. Okay, so take advantage of that. We're going to do one more here. Boink. VIP. Is this for first-time home buyers? Okay, this is for the lending. VIP Execs Realty and Lending. Right, so VIP Execs Lending. First-time home buyers, take advantage of it. Reach out. If you're looking for just first time buying a property, FHA, VA, whatever it is, she'll figure it out for you. They'll figure it out for you to help you get into your first home. And then maybe your forever home, or maybe your next home. But tenacity is what you need and what you want. We'll wrap it up with this last one here. Maybe I got one more, a couple more. We'll keep rolling. Fuck it. We're already at an hour and 5 minutes. Considering buying or selling a home, definitely don't go solo. Don't go solo. Let us help you out, or let VIP Execs Realty and Lending and the team help you out. Step into excellence. Here's the last slide here. We are hiring. So scan that QR code right there. Chat with me or someone on my team. If it's going to be the hiring stuff, you won't talk to me until after so you spoke with somebody and seems like a good fit, or you may catch you, or maybe you catch me. Then we'll chit chat. We'll talk, see if it's a good fit. We're hiring for acquisitions, dispo, and like I said, high ticket sales for the American Mentee program. If you're good at sales and you want to help some fellow Americans, you want to help people, and know that you're backing an awesome product with people that care, an organization of people that care, then definitely that's for you. Acquisitions, if you're awesome, maybe you're working somewhere, or maybe you're not getting the love you need, or you want to learn a couple more things, or want to learn more in the creative real estate investment world with the acquisitions and dispo, then hey, we want to talk with you. We want to work with you in one capacity or the other. It doesn't matter where you're located in the United States of America. It could be Florida, like I said, all the way to the East Coast to the West Coast and anywhere in between. We buy properties wherever we have mentees. So that's how we're able to acquire those different properties and relationships. Of course, there'll be some areas. Hey, you're looking for a property over here. We don't have a mentee over there. We're probably not going to be interested in it, but maybe we can figure out how we can do something with it or not. But I do have some stuff here on the table. I'm going to share something with you. A little bit of old school stuff, right? Because it works. And especially in Texas, people are door knocking. People are getting aggressive out there. Southern California, not so much. But I think as the market starts turning and shifting, people are going to start door knocking more. I know in the last cycle they did some weird shit. I don't know. Go figure. They dress up like they're part of like the city or some shit, and we're foreclosure advocates and blah 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 blah. It's all lies and bullshit and mirrors and stuff. No, be straight. We're investors. We're real estate investors. Yes, we're buying properties in the area. Period. Right. That's all you need to know. At the end of the day, are we a nonprofit? The answer to that is no. Do we work with nonprofits? Sure, we can. If we're not interested, we can point you in the right direction and hopefully give you the resources that you need to sell that property or save your home or do a loan mod or whatever it may be, right? If we can't buy it from you or anything of that nature, right? But we are investors and we're not a profit. We're not a nonprofit. We are for a profit company. So I feel that's just better to be straight up and people know what's going on. If we can help them, yeah, we're going to tell them. If we can help you, we'll help you. We don't got to, buy your property. I always say, look, we don't have to buy your property. There's 3 or 4 pre-foreclosures all around that property we're going after anyways, right? And I will say this, I probably shouldn't, but I will say if you're Hispanic, be careful when you're out there, right? Or anything with, just the nationalities and things of that nature. Because look, at the end of the day, blue and blue, United States of America, don't care what color, ethnicity you are, or any of that shit. Bottom line is that we can help you. Let's work a deal. If we can educate you, we'll do that. If we can educate you and still don't buy the property, it's okay. At least we've done our part. Hopefully we get a testimonial from it or get some kumbaya thank yous or high fives. But I can tell you, especially in the Hispanic market, people say, oh, can you speak Espanol and things of that nature, right? What happens? They end up getting burned by the people that speak Espanol and all that good stuff, right? Or because they feel more comfortable and then they end up getting ripped off and then they go back and go, oh, can you help me? They did this, they did that. I said, well, we already told you, right, what you needed to do and what we're going to do for you. And then you went in that direction. Happens a lot in Southern California. Telling you right now, if you're Hispanic or if you speak Spanish or whatever, or maybe, I don't care what the situation is, black, Chinese, white, Indian, chief. The bottom line is we're gonna share it with you. We'll share the information. We'll make you an offer within 24 to 72 hours. If it works for you, great. If it don't, no problem. We're going to move on anyways or share our information with others, okay? but there's a lot of unscrupulous and a lot of stuff happens with people out there. We're going to be straightforward and truthful. That's the most important thing, is the integrity, the loyalty, and communication. You break any of those, you can break communication. That can be repaired. The other two, right? Oh, maybe let's do the other two, right? The other two cannot be repaired. We won't do that to you, but hey, it's happened to us. We've been burned in the past, right? We've been, ripped off and things of that nature, and dealt with unscrupulous people here and there. There's not a lot, maybe 1 to 3% in the United States of America or the world. It happens, but 97% of the time, humans are honest. The people we work with are honest. That's the problem. That's the problem where people got to vet. You got to vet. Not just us, but we're going to be vetting sellers. That's how we do it, the Amplified method. We vet the sellers, we vet the buyers, we vet the investors, we vet everybody. And they can vet us all day long. It doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, we do have the control, we do have the superpower, and we're the ones that are going to, decide to buy our property or not. No big deal, right? To a degree. And it's not having an ego or anything like that. It's just, it's being truthful. We want to work with people that need our help and vice versa. And, that's going to be a reciprocal transaction together, right? And we'll get into that stuff maybe on Saturday with pre-foreclosures and the goods and the bad and people whining about this and that and all kinds of other stuff. Not the sellers, but other people. So when I'm talking about that, and what I'm saying is that it happens all the time, right? It happens all the freaking time to a degree. So, and of course it's our job to, either bring in a translator, make sure they feel comfortable and understanding and being, sometimes you got to be aggressive to say, look, I don't want you to go work with these people because you're going to get burned. So you're going to work with us. Okay. At the end of the day, that's great. If you don't want to, cool, but don't make it hey, I told you so. I'm not here to win that, right? We're here to help you win so you can get your property back on the books. You can move on in 6 months or so. You're getting credit card offers. Your job's moving forward. Your life is moving forward. You close that shitty chapter in your life and you start rocking and rolling again like God intended. That's the beauty. Trust me, I got tons of stories like that. I'd love to share them with you. Jump on tomorrow. We got some Saturday training. Unless we're out in the field. So if we're out in the field and we got to take care of those appointments, and that's going to come first with a little bit of maybe some snidbits here. Hey, we're going to help this American. We're going over here. We're going to show this property. We're going to do this and that. Otherwise, we'll come back in here and we'll do some training. And we're going to talk about pre-foreclosures, NODs, notice of defaults, notice of trustee sales. And here we go. So I'm going to share this with you. This is cool. This right here is going like, what does this say? It says, urgent, please read, okay? Now, you should be able to read this, okay? Let me see what we got here. Make sure I got the right slide up. There you go, yeah. Book a call. Awesome possum. I think I got that from Rock of Love, from that chick. All right. I think she was De La Hoya's daughter or cousin or some shit. Anyways, so these, you can put Post-its. You can get the little Post-its and write your note, give me a call, blah, 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 put it on the freaking door after you go to the property. And then you knock on the door and nobody answers. Put a Post-it on there or put one of these on there. And then when they open it up, it's easy. See, these envelopes are pretty cool. Now I'm going to deconstruct this a little bit. What comes in this little package? Obviously, you don't have to lick that thing, right? No need to lick it. No need to get a sponge unless you can't afford these and you get the cheap ones. Peel it off, close it up. And what do they get? They get one of these, right? Every mentee that comes aboard, we start building this out for you. Anyways, you'll get these. Okay? Sell your house fast. Know your options. Americans have what Americans. Free recorded message, blah, 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 blah. Now, for your mentee, it's going to have your telephone number and extension number that's direct to you. Okay? Now, some of these things that are on here, we're going, okay, well, hey, free information. Just call or visit us online for a free consultation. We buy houses, ugly ones too. Cash or terms. We do short sales, 48-hour written guarantee. Free consultation. Call now. Refinance. Rent-to-own program. Sell your house fast. Facing foreclosure. Behind in payments. No equity. We have solutions. We can help. AmericansHelpingAmericans.net. We'll have your telephone number. Call for cash, free, or let us make you an offer. Go to AmericansHelpingAmericans.net. We have purchased houses from folks just like you in a variety of situations with no fees or commissions. We are not realtors. We are private investors who use private funds to require no long drawn out bank approvals. So we are able to close quickly together and we can find the solution. Okay. Beautiful, lovely stuff. We got other ones that are like half flyers. If you're going to be going and door knocking and talking to the neighbors, which you should be talking to the neighbors. Hey, what's up with that house? We want to do this. How can we help you with this and that? And these are one-page flyer. You chop them in half, go to Staples, and you get double the flyer and pass those out like candy. Turn the neighbors into your bird dogs and say, here you go. Hey, keep this. It's worth $250 to $1,000, or even $1,250. What do you mean? Yeah, you keep this. If you find a house, shoot me a picture and the address. If we buy it, we will pay you a referral fee of $250 to $1,250. Easy peasy, no strings attached. We just got to be able to write it and get into contract. Sometimes we don't even got to close on it. We just got to get it under contract and we'll write a check. What? Really? Oh my God. Okay, cool. So now you're building an army of bird dogs, right? The same token that comes in the envelope is our Americans Out with Americans card. Join the cause. And of course, our rock and roll VIP Execs Realty and Lending Step into Excellence card, right? So we got the public sector and private sector all put together. And then even then, if you want to get crazy and cool, it works. It's totally up to you. They are more expensive than just an envelope, right? So check this out. I'm going to bring it out, some bling bling. Check this out. Probably going, what the hell is that, right? What is that? Hello? Okay. Well, these are envelopes. They kind of look like anodized, right? Anodized. When I was younger, I had a BMX bike, and our rims were anodized. They're dipped in some type of color, metal, whatever. And then the rims are, so this kind of looks like that, right? It's nice and shiny. And you got the holidays, right? People are going to open your shit. November, December, January. Hey, they got these in blue, red, green, and of course, gold. All we're doing is putting the same stuff that we have here in here, right? Inside the package. So when they open it up, because the goal is to get them to open up your mail, opposed to a bunch of other people's mail. Yeah, some people use wedding invitations, smaller envelopes, postcards work too. I'm not gonna lie, postcards work, but you got to hit them 2 or 3 times with the postcard, right? And then hit them with some letters, and then hit them with some post-it notes, and then hit them with some of these as well, right? So it works. Old school with new school works. If you can afford to do that, I suggest you do it. Trust me. If it works and you get results, definitely let me know. Reach out, say, man, that was a great idea, Eric. Thank you very much. Okay. Do a shout out. We'd really appreciate that. Okay. But there's no excuse. Get out there and rock and roll. Old school, new school, they all work. Every vertical, I called marketing verticals, right? Like that would be direct mail. That's a vertical, but it's one piece of a vertical, right? Putting a post-it card. Well, that's a vertical. It's a type of marketing. What about postcards? That's a vertical as well. What about just a letter? You don't even got to put a flyer in there. Or cards. You can even put a post-it card on that flyer. You can just put what? Write a letter. Make it personal. The goal is to get them to open that. Okay? And these do cost a little bit of extra money, but I'll show you if you want to know where those are at. Shoot a DM. I'm going to type in my rock and roll. This is a long one here. It's what? Hour and 17 minutes. Woo-wee. All right, cool. Check this out. Rock and roll. It's a little bit late in the game. Should have did that in the beginning, but go ahead and type a DM in there or reach out, or not a DM, but write something in there and say, hey, look, I'm interested. Whatever it is, whatever you liked about this, like, share, and love, or there's something that you watch this thing backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards and in and out and all that good stuff. Grab all those pro tips. That's what I did. I'm not going to lie. I got Carlton Sheets 1995 course. Came in a box. I still have it in my archive somewhere, right? And it was in like a plastic thing, and it had CDs in there, had contracts, had some wheel thing and shit. Now, I watched his shit over and over and over and over and over and figured out and broke down the numbers, underwrote them, trying to figure out how is this guy coming up with these numbers, because the numbers that he's saying here does not make sense. And so I figured out it was OPM, it's other people's number, other people's money. It was, seller finance, there's creative real estate investing. And I go, oh, boop, light bulb popped. I go, man, creative real estate investing, what the hell is that? I thought you had to go get a loan, have some awesome credit, be worth lots of money, build corporate credit and all this crazy shit to go do this business. But obviously not. So that's the beautiful, lovely thing. Rock and roll and all that you're doing. Go ahead and wrap this bad boy up. I got my coffee here, and we're going to get ready to, get ready and geared up for the weekend. So here's my challenge to you, okay? My challenge, if you want to sign up and you want to close that QR or scan that QR code, we'll do a 30-day challenge. You come aboard and rock with us. We'll get you all set up. If it's a good fit, we'll rock and roll. Our goal is to get you a deal, or us together, get a deal within the next 30 days. I guarantee what'll happen if you show up and you do what needs to be done, okay? That's my guarantee, is that you will get a contract, under contract, within 30 days to come aboard. Even if you don't, or you're like, you know what? Hey, you know what? Man, I don't got the money for that, or whatever your situation is. Challenge is to, hey, bring those deals to the table. Let's see if we can get you a referral fee. It's called a bird dog fee, right? Unless you got it under contract. You know, if it's contract and it's nice and juicy, hey, we'll get you paid. Or maybe it's partnering up. Maybe you got some money and some credit. We can do that. Fix and flip a property, buy and hold a property, or we'll just buy it from you, but maybe at a higher price, right? So there's a lot of things that can be done. Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, scan that QR code. I'm going to pull this back up here to the last, or where we started. I want to share that with you. Make sure you go and visit. Where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? There we go, right there. If you got a property that needs to be sold, definitely reach out, touch bases with VIP Execs Realty and Lending, Step into Excellence. Thank you for our sponsors for setting stuff up like this and what we do. So with VIP Execs Realty and Lending, Step into Excellence. You want to hang your license, you want to rock your license, or you're looking for property, you need loans, things of that nature. Our resources will become your resources. Just reach out and I will connect you. As well as the American Mentee program. It's the only program of its kind where we mentor and train you one-on-one. And the goal is, to get you from newbie to closer and to learn creative real estate investing one-on-one. You can scan that QR code right there. It's done with you and done for you program. There are 2 programs. Done with you means we're going to rock deals together. And then done with you and done for you. To come aboard, you got to be at a little bit of a different level. And there's a bigger investment for you at the end of the day. But you're going to rock and roll, and the whole goal is to get you up and running to build a real estate investment firm. Okay? So definitely scan that QR code. There's nothing on the planet like it. We're going to take the time to rock and roll with you. Scan that QR code, and we're going to go back to this right here, which is We Buy Houses, okay? Americans helping Americans, one American at a time, one property at a time, one family at a time, doing our part to get America back on track together with you and others across the United States of America. Scan that QR code. If you got a deal for sale, you got someone who needs to sell, investors, buyers, family members, it doesn't matter. They want to avoid paying the commission and things of that nature, and they want to go direct and get an offer within 24 to 72 hours, and definitely reach out. We'd love to speak with you, love to talk with you, love to help you in any capacity that we can. Once again, Americans helping Americans, one American at a time, one property at a time, one family at a time, doing our part to get America back on track together with you and others across the United States of America. Rock and roll in all that you do. In God we trust. And of course, let's get back to my favorite, Made in America. All right.